Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yokishi, and welcome to what should have been a one-week review of Arknights Endfield, but it's currently been a bit more than that. I think just 8 days or under that, but anyway. So, Arknights Endfield is a brand new gacha game that recently came out by, I believe, the Arknights devs. I mean, of course, it has Arknights in the fucking title. However, unlike Arknights, this game is a different style of combat genre. I'll get into that in a bit, don't worry. But anyway, this won't only just be a one-week in review.
I just thought of a joke. Anyone want to hear it? Oh. Hey, a little reaction, please.
Not now, Fluorite. Anyway, so I'm going to be going over the good, the bad, the ugly, etc., etc., and my current thoughts on the game as of right now. Now, I haven't done everything there is to do in the game, at least I don't think. I haven't fully completed everything there is to do in the game. That I definitely haven't done. Excuse me. But I will try my best to go over this game's systems, explain how things work, and then do my review portion. So, Arknights Endfield, in terms of its combat, is half simplistic and half complex. So, what do I mean by that? Well, see in the top left corner, it says Explore. Explorer allows you to fight normally, because when you're in AIC mode, you can still attack, but you can't really do much. So, anyway, unlike most typical open world or open zone gacha games, where, you know, you have attacks, you have parries, dodges, etc., you have normal attacks, heavy attacks, charge attacks, etc., this game does away with all of that, which is unfortunate, and instead, you have a basic attack. And that's it, in terms of what you can manually input. Aside from, you know, a battle skill, or your ultimate, which you press and hold, which charges up the more you dodge, the more you activate your reactions, etc. Now, one of the things I don't like about this game is the combat. And let me show you why. I am pressing and holding the X button on my Xbox controller. I just released it. Now, if I mash my buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4. The basic combo attack string, or basic attack combo string, is the same regardless if you press and hold or button mash. This isn't a charge attack, this is automating your basics. I am not a fan of that. When I think charge attack, I think of a cool attack that I activate as I charge up my attack. Not, oh, I'm going to do my basic string, or basic combo string. That's bad. And then, provided I have enough energy, or enough SP, which is 3 little SP bars on the bottom of the screen. Let's see if I can't get into a fight right quick. So hold basic. See those yellow bars at the bottom of the screen? That's SP. And anytime my SP slowly generates over time, which allows me to use my skills. All enemies have a red line they have popping up over their body. If I dodge perfectly, that's awesome. So, combat is fairly boring in this game because of that, where your basics are fine, but they don't do a whole lot of damage. Now, yes, I'm using a character that's barely invested in, shut up, but I mained Wolfguard a lot, because I switched from the Lightning Bunny girl. Go to teams.
What if someone's not
I switched from Aviwana to Wolfguard, because while Aviwana is fun to play, her basic string is physical attacks, and not lightning, even though she's a lightning DPS unit. The only lightning DPS unit in the game. And that is another issue I will be bringing up in a bit. But, back to combat, you only have your basic combo skill, you have your press skill that you use on your 4 face buttons, and then you have a press and hold. You only have 3 pips of SP, so you don't get to use all of the battle skills available. However,
Yo,
you can use
I
ultimates.
just thought of a joke. Anyone want to hear it? Ah, hey, a little reaction, please.
So, there is no basic attack. Well, there is a basic attack, but that's it. There is also a plunge attack, but that's barely ever used. Or, utilized. For anyone. At least that I'm aware of. You don't have a heavy attack. Trust me, I'm pressing the Y button on my Xbox controller. It's not doing anything. And yes, I'm playing this game with a controller. Bite me. And yeah, that's basically it. And because there's a plunge, there's no aerial combat either. Which is kind of bad, but whatever. So. For the other side of combat, let's actually check out Aviwana.
We ready to play?
So, Aviwana.
Am I looking alright from this angle?
So, all the characters will have their basic attack right here. An attack with up to a certain amount of sequences that deals physical damage, as the controlled operator final strike also deals 17 stagger. Note how it says physical damage. Yet, if I go over to Levitain,
thank goodness you're not one of them.
she does heat damage. If I go to Wolfguard, heat damage.
A strong team
Akakuri,
is one without any
physical,
links.
even though she's a fire unit. Ardelia, nature.
Prepped and ready to
Helicon, electric. Untal, also electric. Fluorite,
Due for some bad
nature.
luck this.
Originium will carve.
Doesn't count. Alesh, he's an ice unit, but he deals physical damage on his basic.
I offer today's
Jahi,
dialogue and contemplation to
The path ahead has been revealed.
I hope you have noticed the pattern so far. The only characters that do on-element damage are characters
I offer today's dialogue and contemplation to your terminal.
that use this
in
weapon type.
reverence.
Not this specifically, yeah, what Untal uses. Whatever this weapon type is called. Not only that, but also gun operators too. And, your 6-star characters. However, there is only two other characters, or 6 stars, that do element damage, and they're both ice units. What is with these gacha companies in releasing characters that are already doubling up? Like, shouldn't we get a 6-star lightning DPS instead? What the fuck? But anyway. So, yeah, that's kind of not good. This game has the Genshin problem, and the Zenless problem, where your elemental characters don't do elemental damage, unless if you do a special gimmick or trick with them, and then they do it. Like, they need to have an infusion in order to do elemental damage. I'm not a fan of that. If a character is going to be, for instance, like Aviwana, an electric attack DPS, have her do electric damage. I am at the very least glad that Levitain, Lastrate, Yvonne, and all of the gun/casting units all do on-element damage, at the very least. So there is that.
Don't blink or I might just disappear on you.
So, I have a big-ass sticky note to my right that's over top OBS, so I apologize if I get a bit rambling. And apologies if this is also not scripted, which it usually would be, and I would have, gameplay in the back. But this game doesn't really have an endgame mode, for now, and I think that's okay. Only because this game literally just came out, and I don't think players are, like, unless if you no-lifed this game, and played it for more than 12 hours a day, and skipped the story, I don't think anyone would have near-complete teams yet. I genuinely don't, but anyway. So, here are some things to note. I'm going to start with the bad. Well, this one's a bit more mixed. The character designs for this game are fine, but they need more variety in color. Nearly every single character having their main color be black/white is dull. I mean, look at Fluorite, for instance. Her main color scheme is white and black, with some gray. The only green you see is with her hair and her eyes. And also her fucking crocodile tail. I think it's a crocodile, but anyway. I already talked about combat. It's boring as sin. It needs to be revamped to have a heavy attack and an actual charge attack that isn't just your basic attack string. Exploration. it's very lacking, and the character needs to keep sprint going after a simple press and hold, which they do, actually, which is good. But exploration isn't fun to really do, because you only have this, you don't have mounts, you don't have, you do have zip lines, but you need to set them up, and trust me, I'm going to go over that, kind of. To add to the exploration aspect, you have your jumping, right? Which is typical. But, you don't have climbing. So there's no climbing on anything is a decision that needs to be fixed so that there is climbing. You can't climb, you can only jump. And then, dash jump. So, for instance, I jump. I made it to that patch of grass. I now sprint jump, and I go farther. It's Dark Souls logic, / Dark Souls ruling. Or even Elden Ring ruling. If Elden Ring was the first to have that. It's a sprint jump. I already talked about this. Similar issue with Genshin and Zenless, where the elemental characters don't do elemental damage, but mostly physical, unless if the unit is a caster, a gun character, or a 6-star at some times, because there are some 6-star characters that are elemental characters that don't do on-element damage. Ember, I'm looking at you. This is also a bit of a gray one, because building the factory is fun, but it's finicky, mostly when looking at the machine and placing down treads. What do I mean by that? Well, if I go over to, say, this refining unit, and I'm over here, I am looking at the pack output port 6, but it's not in my list of things to check out. I'm even standing in front of it. And when I go into stash mode, sometimes it'll be very finicky as well. So, there's that, and I don't like that. Let's talk about the gacha. So, players are confused, hella confused, apparently, but I actually like this gacha system. I like that in 120 pulls, I don't know why it says 129. I know I just got the character, oh, it's 130 now, huh. So it goes up by 10. Okay, now that is predatory, but if you're a whale. If you're not a whale, it's perfectly fine, because 120 pulls, you get the character guaranteed no matter what. I think the hard pity is 80 pulls. And then after that, if you lose the 50-50, you get the character guaranteed no matter what after 40. Or after some more if you got in early. But I don't know if you can get the character early if you do win early. But anyway. The gacha for this game is actually fine. However, if you can see, right near Headhunt, it costs 4,500 plus the one ticket that I have. Which means a single pull is 500 currency. Which means a single 10 pull is 5,000. In Genshin, Star Rail, Zenless, and Wuthering Waves, even in Persona 5 the Phantom X, I believe anyway, it's been a while, so forgive me, the pulls weren't this expensive. It wasn't over 5,000. It was 1,600. You, the player, could have done 3 10 pulls, and still have a little bit left over for, like, maybe a single pull more. But instead you have 5k, which is stupid as sin. This game also has the similar system as Star Rail and Zenless, where you have, after 300 pulls, you get to select a character, and these are currently the characters on the banner. You have Ardelia, Pug, Ronishnik, I think? Pugron? I'm just gonna call him Pugron. Blasterite, Amber, and Lefong, or Lefang. I think it's pronounced Lefong. I played this game on mute because I skipped the story, so I don't actually know. If we go into headhunting, which I hope OBS is picking up. Yes, it is, thank God. Don't mind that. This is where your weapon banner is, and you need 1980 of the special currency arsenal ticket to get it. And you get it by doing pulls. You only get 200 per 5-star character you get. You get 2,000 per 6-star. So you get 1 weapon banner pull for every 6-star character you pull. And you need 8 pulls in total to get the weapon guaranteed. Now the weapon banner is scummy as hell because of that. So you basically need 1980 times 8, and that's how much you need. But you need a metric fuck ton. So you need 8 6-star characters to grab, which is too many pulls just for a single weapon. Or you can outright buy some weapons with your hard-earned currency. The next weapon I'm going to be getting is this one, 1,000,000%, because I plan on using Lacerite when I get her. Just like how I plan on using the Fog when I get him. The game forces you to use your 10 pull on this banner, for whatever reason, instead of letting you choose any of these weapons. Trust me, I would have probably went with Solid Ice Issue, or this one, which is for the Fog, I bet. I'm just betting, anyway. So there's that. The gacha system is fine. 120 to get the character guaranteed is fantastic. The amount needed to get the character is not. You need 5k per 10 pull. That is not okay. I don't care how much the game gives you, in terms of doing side quests, in terms of exploring the world. 5k is asking way too much. In this game, there are these things called relay towers. And you put them down, and you hook them up to your main facility by start transmitting. And it's 80 meters per cable. You hook it up. Already has power. Yeah. Well, that's interesting to know. Oh yeah, because it automatically connects. Well, what's supposed to happen is you can make a chain of these. Okay, we'll perform a quick update. Oh, wonderful. But anyway, so you are able to make a quick chain of these to go about because you need to power, for instance, your mining rigs. And if I open up the map, you can see where I placed all of these beacons. And you can see that some of them are even in random places. Like, for instance, this one right here. Why? Well, let's go to it, and I'll show you why. So, by placing down these beacons, you're able to power things. So, if you run across something like this, you have to power it. And the only way to power it is with the tower. I don't like this. I'm not a fan of this. This is where the factory system comes to bite you in the ass. Needing to put down relay towers is fine up to a point. And I think that point, in my personal opinion, should be up to 5 beacons for your mining rigs, and that's it. You should only need 5 of these big honkin' railgun looking things, and then that's it. That's all you need. But no. You need to place down not only those, but these pylons as well. Again, not a fan of that. I think that's too much, I think it's tedious as fuck, and it's also annoying as hell, because when you go to place it down, your minimap goes away, so you can't even see where you're running to. Now, fortunately, they sort of had a fix for wooling, where with wooling, the towers will just automatically connect, and, more importantly, it'll actually show you how long your distance is from each tower, which is so fucking
I
huge.
just thought of a joke. Anyone want to hear it? Oh. Hey, a little reaction, please.
So to add to this point, the game badly needs battery packs for powering objects instead of a tower. This is for the open world puzzle stuff, which is what I talked about right here. Now, yes, there are batteries in this game, which I did show in the previous video, but I'm talking about batteries that you can put into this, automatically power up, and then, go about the puzzle in here. That's what I'm talking about. Now, this could just be a me thing, 1,000,000%. Or this could just be a normal critique, but I have used some other characters, but those characters don't feel fun to play and are very, very slow. I think for the most part it were great story characters and Polarm characters that felt slow to play. Wolfguard kind of also felt slow, but when I finally got Levitine, she's fast and she's fun, and I like that. I want more characters that are fast but fun, because that's more my speed. I don't like the slow characters, especially because of this.
Attention, please.
Like, that's annoying. But, anyway. For one of the positives for this game, I have an HP Omen 40L, I think it is. A store-bought PC from Best Buy, I think. And the game runs perfectly fine. Yes, there are some, like, long loading times, but I'm kind of used to those, really. I don't mind them too much. Like, yeah, it does suck because I have to edit them out if I'm ever, recording, like I am now. Hi. But, yeah. Oh. So, I know this game just recently came out and all, but in my personal opinion, and in my viewpoint, you should not release a gacha game unless if you make one character of each element, role, and rating. By which I mean, you make a 4-star nature character, a 5-star nature character, and a 6-star nature character. And all of those characters are available on the standard banner. It doesn't matter what they do, just as long as 1, they do nature damage at all times, and 2, you have a 4-star, a 5-star, and a 6-star nature character, just as an example, because we currently do not have a 6-star electric character released. That's kind of bullshit. I wish we did. Hell, we do have that very same thing for fire. We have 1 fire 4-star, we have 1 fire 5-star, and we have 2 fire 6-stars, for some reason. Granted, one's unlimited and one's not, but whatever. Now, another issue with the factory system in this game. So you have rotate facility, RB, right? I'm pressing LB. You can only rotate your facilities with RB. And you can't rotate back. So say, for instance, I want to place it down, but oops, I just fucked up and pressed RB. I can't press LB, so I have to go 1, 2, 3, back again. I hate that. I really do. And that's the same for just about anything by putting it down. When it comes to making your stuff, you can't actively view the recipe. So say, for instance, I have a recipe that, needs a or I have a recipe that I need to do, but I don't remember which facilities. Okay, so it does kind of show you, but not really, because it doesn't show you what the recipes are fully. It shows you what it can make, but it doesn't show you how to make them. So, yeah. You need to place down the facility in order to see what you can make with the facility. And how to make it. I kind of don't like that. I think that's unintuitive, but whatever. So, in this game, if you see these bird icons, they're recycling stations. Oh, good, they're maxed. And they're a problem. Why are they a problem, you may ask? Well, I go up to one, and I gather my resources. Instantaneous, very nice, simple and clean. However, I now need to visit every single one of these stations, all across the world. Instead of being able to just open my map, click a button, and automatically gather them in one fell swoop. I don't like this. I hate that I have to go to each one individually, and then collect each one individually. That is bullshit. Next, in your operational manual, your nodes is, your beginner quest stuff. This will go away eventually once you finally complete it. You have your dailies, your index, which is what you use for, leveling up your characters and stuff. Training, which is your basic training and your operator guide. I'm probably never going to do these. Simulation, which is just telling you how to build stuff. And then permanent, which this is the endgame mode currently for now. But the main gripe is with index. Now, I don't know if this is true for the other games, because my memory is dog shit, but in this game, you actually do have a time limit for how long you can stay in the domain for, and actively fight the monsters. Which is counterintuitive, because that's the entire point of grinding. I'm not talking about the end screen at the end, obviously. I'm talking about, as I'm fighting the monsters, there's a time limit for how long I can fight the monsters for. Why? I don't understand that. Sanity is your stamina system, and it regens very slowly. As you can see, in order to get to full 340, I need to wait 10 hours. If I use up all of it, it takes me nearly 36 plus hours. In the next 2 minutes, we shall see how long it is. Is it 7 minutes, or is it 8 minutes like Genshin? this should be cut to half. If so, it should be every 4 minutes. Hell, every 3 minutes you get 1 sanity back. But that's just me. I think I brought it up before, but Wuling is a different region entirely, and it introduces a water mechanic. So, Wuling introduces water pipes and, irrigation, basically. Whereas some machines have these little outports that you can see right above Flora's head, and they need water to, sustain themselves with. This is the same way with some of these crops over here. Or, no, and the other one. I'm personally not a fan of it. I understand that most factory-like games do have a water system, and that's totally fine. But with the way this game handles the water system, I'm not a fan. Because you can only have the water output on the side that it shows it. You can't switch the water output to, say, like, over here, for instance. Which is why the water pipe is the way it is. Trust me, if I had my way, it would be over here, and it would look so much cleaner. But currently, I can't do that. I don't like that, and that's mainly it. And speaking of Wuling, the Forge of the Sky is your only means of getting the Zeronite, however you pronounce it. And as of right now, as of 1.x, or 1.0, you can only have 2 of these motherfucking things. And you need at least 1 for your batteries to power, your facility. And then at least for me, with the farm that I have, well, shit. So as I was saying before I got so rudely interrupted, with my current setup for making endgame gear, I utilize 2 of these things. I can't have it going at the same time as the batteries, so I either have a massive-ass factory that makes the 3rd tier battery from Valley 4, or I just make enough batteries and then watch this like a hawk instead. I mean, I do have over 1k Zeronite, so I have enough for a lot of characters, at least. Excuse me. Because you need 50 to make 1. You need 50 of these to make 1 piece of gear. And that's way too much. And my rumble is on when I turn it off. Wonderful. Thank you, game. Ugh. So, yeah. I'm really hoping in 1.1 or 1.2 or soon, they let you construct more Forge of the Skies, because this is ass. That, and give us more fucking Orenium as well, or Originium, because this being a crutch sucks. And that leads into my next point. There's not enough resources to have an upkeep on, especially if one resource is used a lot. I mean, one look at this will tell you, yeah, there's a lot of Originium used. I'm barely using the Ferium ore here. I'm using Originium more. That's because I'm not making bottles, or making whatever the hell I'm supposed to be making in this area. Because, let's be honest, the only things you need to make here are the batteries, endgame gear, and that's pretty much it. You don't need anything else in this area, or in this region. But, anyway, speaking of facilities, let's check out the planting unit, shall we? Because the planting unit currently only has 4 things it can plant. Now, if we switch the mode, it can plant 2 additional things as well, because it does take water. And trust me, that shit is annoying, because, again, the pipe is on a certain side, and you can't fucking switch it. That pisses me off to no end, but not the problem. The problem is you can't plant every single crop. And unfortunately, if you go into the crafting manual, the game rewards you for getting over 100 plus of a single crop. But you can't infinitely farm every single crop. Which is bullshit. The game does tell you how to get it, though. Right gather below to help west, gathering bookflower may occasionally yield firebuckle. The game does tell you, at least. So it tells you how close you are to reaching the next milestone, which is nice. But you can't infinitely farm some of them, and that's a downside. I wish you can. Especially because there are some endgame recipes that require these random resources, and you can't infinitely farm those resources yet. Now, this one could be just a personal problem, but this is more so talking about, for instance, Wolfguard, at least, when I used him. So, this might change when fully leveled with endgame gear, but as of a unit being level 60, with a level 60 weapon, that is a 6-star, maxed as can be skills, and purple gear, which is the best that I could currently make at that time, the characters only do under 1k damage for basic attacks, and skills also, their damage output is too low. They are not doing under 5k for skills, and they are not doing 500 to 1,000 per attack string. Wolfguard was doing 200. For reference, this is how he's leveled up, and what I currently have on him. He has Cannibal, that already has an essence thing loaded in, and his skills are fully maxed out. Currently. Because he's not level 70 yet. And because I didn't unlock the endgame gear until, what, yesterday or the day before, he's got purple tier gear on. And, yeah. That pissed me off. However, it does seem like, well, I mean, obviously, she's a 6-star character. Levitating's damage output is stupid good. But that's only because, 1, she's higher leveled, 2, she has her best in slot, and 3, she has gold tier gear. I don't know how well she would perform with purple tier, but anyway. And lastly, in terms of the review portion anyway, the factory system. It's actually really fun. I like it. It's not very complex until you get to the special belts, but even then, it's a very easy to understand system. And it's okay that it's a very easy to understand system. What do I mean by the belts? Well, if we go under facility list, we have the belt bridge, the splitter, the converger, and the item control port. I never use this, ever. I don't think there's a point in doing that. And then you have somewhat the same thing for your pipes. But the one you mostly are going to use is the splitter and the belt bridge. The belt bridge is what is used for one of these fuckers, I think. Yeah, over here. The belt bridge allows my powder from here to go into here, while also having the shredding unit go from here into here. That's all it does, because if this didn't exist, these two lines would overlap. But because I have this, both materials can go in at the same time, and not have any kind of obstruction, which is super fucking handy. And I like that a lot. So, in terms of the review portion, or in terms of what else this game has to offer, what else? Story, again, I skipped it. I didn't pay attention. I wanted to unlock as much of the world as I possibly could so I could just get started on, you know, automation and whatnot. If you go to your development, this is how you primarily earn your stock bills, unless if you're a filthy co-op player that has friends. You just buy resources and then, you know, trade at the stock market. You could do that. I prefer to do this. Yes, it's slow and tedious, but I don't care, really. I'd rather not have to deal with that nonsense. I could get rid of this. What else? You have your missions, you can talk to characters. I think that's basically everything. I think. Because, again, the permanent thing, this is your in-game mode, which is, I think, an extraction type game mode. It's fine. I just wish that this game mode showed you where everything was, and you didn't have to memorize where each little thing was. Because there is completion things for it, and you need certain items. And the game's, or this map isn't really good, I think. But, yeah. Some bosses do hit hard, but again, I'm not at full endgame yet. Most of my characters are level 60. I only have one character that's almost at max.
Finally remember something?
And that's her. I mean, even with her skills at rank 6, she's still doing ridiculous amounts of damage. So, I do plan on leveling her up, or ascending her, but not until all of the items in this world regenerate. Oh, speaking of regeneration, actually, if you open your map and you press whatever button is associated with the OMV Dejing, or Dejiang, you have a little, you know, space home base. So, let's go to this one. So, Space Home Base is mainly used for automatically gathering some resources. So, said resources, at least in this one, is character XP and weapon XP. And as you can see, it says total time, and it does go up. So, yeah, good luck with that. However, this one is the most important one, the growth chamber. This, as the name implies, allows you to grow rare resources that regenerate every 2 or so days, which is annoying as hell, but you can harvest them all. This is easily the most helpful thing you have, but you do unfortunately need to level up and ascend your characters a lot. You need to get each character to minimum level 80 in order for them to have their special abilities. Which is kind of horseshit, but whatever. The Kernel Sector. This is where your endgame mode is currently at. But if you go down this sector, you have another thing, which is Reception. But in Reception, you have Clue Gathering, which I don't fully understand the purpose of yet. But it's a thing. Oh, I already have the clue. Wonderful. But, yeah. So there's that. And if you see any operators, here we go. You can talk to them.
Careful when walking around Dejang, Professor. There are all sorts of warning signs aboard the ship, and I keep tripping over them. I just couldn't notice them when I'm thinking about things.
So you can offer a gift, you can tell her to take a break, or, you know, get back to work. I don't know what this one does. I don't want to check it. You can offer gifts, and you could get these gifts from a mascot-looking dude down on the planet. But, yeah, I barely touched the surface for it. So, anyway, I think that about covers everything. So, with that all... Okay, so I'm going to splice this in somewhere into the video, because I haven't gone over everything yet, but that's mostly because I haven't done everything yet. I just last night did the essence farming thing, and
waiting for something?
essences...
Who's due?
Not you.
Looking for me?
You.
You
Are
finally
part of
remember
weapons.
something?
So, nope, not that. There we go. So, essences are another form of gear that you can put on your weapons, and it's another form of endgame stuff that you have to grind. Now, unfortunately, you're not guaranteed to get the 3 things you want, unless if you use your stock bills. What do I mean by that? Well, with your stock bills, if you go to your deployment, and go into stock redistribution, I believe. It should be in one of these. You have the batteries. These, right here. Ruling Engraving Permit. Use this at a severe energy alluvium site of ruling. It can pre-engrave the stats of weapon essence acquired. Which basically means you are now guaranteed to get 3 stats you want, no matter what. But it costs a lot of fucking bills. So, yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's whatever. And the same thing is in Valley 4. Going to stock redistribution, and it's all the way down here, right here. And this is the only one you can get. So, buy these every chance you get. Just stockpile them. Don't worry about essences until very, very late game. Like, once you have all of your characters outfitted with gold tier gear and their best weapon possible. Do not worry about this shit yet. Just wait for the time being. You are going to need multiples of them as well, because there is a pity slash a RNG chance of upgrading the wrong one, but if you get lucky and get the 3 stats you do want on, or for a weapon specifically, then that's great. So, for instance, for me, I went to Wuling.
Still waiting?
Who's looking for me?
For the Forgeborn.
Remember something?
I did the Wuling one to get an intellect boost, attack boost, and Twilight Blazing Whale. Well, the essence isn't attack boost. It's actually intellect and Twilight, unfortunately. But I do have a gold version, this one, but the intellect boost on the purple is actually better, so I want to use the purple for now. I'm not going to be upgrading the purple, I'm going to be upgrading the gold, but when I get a better gold version than the purple one. But I'm not going to be worrying about this too much. I only spent my sanity, i.e. stamina, just to not overcap. And by the way, I completely forgot to mention, you get 1 point of stamina every 7 minutes and 12 seconds. Which means it's basically Genshin's ruling, where you regen 1 stamina every 8 minutes. Cut that down to regenning 1 sanity every 4 minutes, and you're golden. Especially because you get a lot of fucking sanity in this game. Like, a lot of it. But, anyway, not only that, I wanted to add in, but I'll go into your backpack. See, there's a Switch Depot button? Well, if I go over to my Zero Night, and this is the same for any item, if I click the button that, you know, makes this menu open up, I can batch move same type of items to backpack. Boom, full. Now, if I press my Switch Depot button, I can switch depot to Valley 4. It loads up for a little bit, and bada bing, I'm in my Valley 4 depot. I now go into my backpack, press the same button as before, batch move same type of items to depot. That is so fucking handy, you have no idea. So, in case you didn't know that, you're welcome! Huge thank you to, I'll put his channel up on screen right now. I watched his video, and he showed that off, and I'm like, oh, this is way easier than just grabbing the items from each region and manually putting them in. Because I was originally just manually pressing, you know, the batch button to put them all in individually. But I'm like, okay, there's gotta be a faster way. So I pressed on my controller, it's the A button, and I'm like, oh, batch move same type, does that work the way I think it does? It does. So that's awesome. But in said and done, and in mind, I apologize for how long this is and how rambly I am. But that's been Arknights Endfield. So overall, the game is good. There are a few issues with it. My number one critique and my number one gripe is the combat, though. I think having only basic, that then leads into a combo, if, you know, you get the combo ready, and then press and hold for ult, for your ultimate, is dumb. I think 3 SP is fine, but there needs to be better characters that can be SP batteries, like Akakuri here. But Akakuri's thing is she needs to use her ultimate in order to regen SP. There are a few more SP batteries, but they're not as good, I think. Because the Lightning character battery has it tied to her skill. Which means you use her skill to regen SP. That sounds stupid. It should be her combo skill, instead of, you know, your tap ability, but whatever. But I think with all of that said and done, I'm going to call this video here. So, in the end, this game is a 4, maybe 5 out of 10. A 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, what have you. Purely because the combat is boring as sin, and it's not fun, because there is only basic and press and hold basic. There's no charge attack. Dodging is fine, but there's no parry system. Or, you know, good parry system. And hell, when you dodge, you don't even get an opportunity to attack. You just move out of the way, and that's it. And the factory system is fine, but mostly with Wuling, I'm really hoping they allow you to make more Forge of the Skies. because you need a lot of Zeronite. A lot of Zeronite. Because it takes 10 to make one component. And you need 50 components in total. For one piece of gear, for one character. But anyway, I've been Ryukishi, and until next time, I'll see you later.